Hey, this is Pam Perry, and we are here to do the show today. And we've got a great guest, Clarissa Burt. And right after this, you're going to hear from her, and she's going to bring you all the information on how to be in the limelight.
Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey, it is Pam Perry, and thank you so much for joining us for the Get Out There, Get Known podcast. Today, we're going to talk about in the limelight, how to get out there, get known, and get in the limelight. So let me just give you a little bit of background on our guest today, Clarissa Burt. She's an international award-winning media personality, producer, director, writer, author, and public speaker. So we'll talk about her new book as well. With hundreds of TV and film credits to her name, this who's who of international American women brings over 30 years of entertainment industry experience in both international and American markets. So when you see her, you're going to see that she started when she was about 5. Her brainchild, In the Limelight multimedia platform, is an online portal providing education, entertaining, and empowerment content, showcasing entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, bringing them to the forefront, right? That's one of the things. With their trials, tribulations, victories, and triumphs. Clarissa's fun, light, and witty style makes a great conversation and is thoroughly enjoyed by her listeners. I'm reading this from her YouTube channel, so you want to check her out there. She also has extensive international social work, garnered her 2 private audience with Pope John Paul II. And she's also a women's advocate and a leader for social change for a standard of living. She's also an instrumental as ambassador to the United States for Walking the Africa campaign that was awarded in Africa. So with that, I'm going to show you who I'm talking about and switch her over to the right, to the left. We got Clarissa.
Hey, Pam.
Welcome. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. This is great. Awesome.
So one of the personal things, is that I met Clarissa a couple of times. Met her via Zoom a couple of times. We were both on the National Publicity Summit. So Steve Harrison is our buddy. So we met, and I loved her energy. Her energy was just amazing and through the roof. And she has this background that's real interesting that I wanted everyone to kind of know about, this media personality and the producer and all of those things. So I'm going to ask her to really just kind of like explain your background and where your love for media really, where it started.
Well, if you don't mind, Pam, I'm going to start way back when. This is my first time on stage.
Oh my God.
Now, I was in, where was I? Collingdale, Pennsylvania. That is Harris Elementary School. And I was Mary Poppins in the kindergarten play. In the foreground, you can see Mrs. Bailey, and she's playing the piano. Here's a second picture real quick. And all the kids behind me when I was singing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I think I was 5 years old. That was June of 1964. And I was 5, and I caught the bug.
I was like, you're bitten by the bug. I just knew, like, at that point, you're bitten by the bug. Either one or two things could have happened. Either you could have been like frightful, and it's like, never again, I'm going to go and be whatever, or you're bitten by the bug.
I was bit by the bug because I was on stage and I was doing what I love best, and I was getting applauded for it. And that was really kind of cool. The second time I was back on stage again, I was about 30. So there's this big gap that I wanted to continue, but I wasn't allowed to continue. I wasn't really, it wasn't supported much at home when I was a child. Let's just put it that way. So when I finally got over to Italy, where I was living for 30 years, I started, not only did I model for a long time, but I also started to work in television as on-camera talent, course, I'm in Italy now, so I had to learn the language. And after that, I started to produce Italian television. So that's kind of a really quick background as to how it all started. Yeah. I lived in Italy for 30 years. I modeled for quite some time, about 4 to 5 years, after which I did about 18 different movies. One of them was The Never-Ending Story Part 2, where I was the mean queen. I don't know if I have any pictures of Zaida around here somewhere.
Was it in Italian?
It was not in Italian. It was in English.
Okay. I was thinking like, oh my God. It's like,
That's
oh my God. That is so cool. I love
the
that.
mean queen. That was a Warner Brothers worldwide release. I think I was dubbed in 17 different languages or something. And so, but my real love was always in television. It was always on with a live audience, and it was always in front of a microphone, which is what I have done basically a really good portion of my life. So I created the In the Limelight multimedia platform, which consists of television. It consists of video, podcast, and a digital magazine. So this is a way for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs that are too busy, that don't have the know-withal, the wherewithal, or even huge budgets, if you will, to be able to get the word out in a bigger and better way.
So when you have the digital magazine, what's the name of the magazine? It's called In the Limelight.
In the Limelight,
and the TV show and the podcast, everything is all branded
In the Limelight.
together. I love it. Everything is all branded together. I see over here on the side, I have a couple of my branding accelerators. They know that I'm a real big thing about keep the same name. So Rodney Burris and Yolanda Spearman are there. It's like, you see that? She has the name all around. But the whole point of it is that you wanted to have other people to not be afraid of the media, to really know how to get out in the limelight. And so what we both teach is that you can pitch us. And one of the first things we always tell them is that make sure that your message matches the media. But the other part is even before they pitch, that's where I want you to kind of go in and really talk about your book, is because when anyone pitches, it's a sales pitch. It could be a media pitch, whatever. It's a pitch. People have an opportunity to say yes or no.
Right.
Most people are afraid of no's. Most people are afraid of rejection. But I would say you have to have thick skin. It may not be no, but just not now. So tell them the reason why you wrote the book.
Well, first of all, here you go. It's called the Self-Esteem Regime. It came out in about 5 weeks ago. It's on Amazon, and we have the audio book also. It's on it's over there on Amazon somewhere. What's it called? Audible. There you go. I couldn't come up with the word. So I'm really excited that not only we have the hard copy, but the recorded book as well. And so let me break that down for you. First of all, no is not always a bad word. No means next. In my book, it means okay, it's not, and like you said, it's not no for no or forever, it's no for now. So that's a list that you start to make and say, okay, let me hit them up again in a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, something along that line, because you never know what the media is going to need and when they're going to need it. The second thing is that remember that you're doing us a favor. A lot of you are doing us a favor because we need the content.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need
Clarissa, it. That is so key. That part right there, I want people to understand it is our job to put out content. So if it's our job, we need content. So you need to pitch us content. But how many emails you said you get a day?
Well, I get about 500, and that comes in from the different PR firms, which is really great because I've gotten some great connections there, Pam. But, anybody can hit me up. That's not the issue. If you go to clarissaburt.com, you'll see submissions in the bottom menu, and you can find me there or anywhere on social, really. But the idea being that, we both have magazines, right? I can't write all the articles. I can't, you and I are the let's call it the head honchos, right? We run a whole bunch of things that have to do with content creation and procurement. So we want to make sure that we're getting out great stuff. We're not writing it all. We're not, we cannot do that. We need the content. So, and here's another thing that I like to say frequently, and that is, if you've got a good message and you know that it is, if you're hitting 1, 1,000 or 1,000,000, you got a message out. If you're hitting 1, and I know it's better to hit 1,000,000 than 1, but you're hitting something and you're hitting somebody, and that's where it starts to grow. Okay. Just get it out there. And it's sometimes, I also like to say, it's not your job to decide whether you're good enough.
Ooh.
It's
That's
not your
good.
job. It's not your job. And if it's someone else's job and they decide you're not, oh well, move on. Not a big deal, because you know that your work is extraordinary, and you know that the book you wrote was phenomenal. And the article had all your heart and soul in it, and that you're putting it out for a reason. So if you are faint of heart and you don't like, look, I was a model for 1,000 years. If you don't think you're going to get some rejection there, and I
Because you
became,
had to audition.
yeah,
Right.
I had to audition, and I continued to do so. And this is back in Paris and Milan in the early 80s, Pam, when there was no cell phone, there was no internet, there was no nothing. You walked the streets with a hard copy map in your hands. So
Wow.
if you
And
want
a
it,
portfolio.
if you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. And let me tell you, tomorrow is never promised. We've seen that so much, especially in the last 2 years, let's call it
Mhm.
18, 19 months, whatever it is. You know, get it, do the work, get it out. Don't, fear is the one thing that I will tell you that has kept me back time and time and time again, and it got me
Mhm.
nowhere, and it didn't help anyone else, Pam. It
Mhm.
helped no one else by
Mhm.
my sitting in my fearful corner here at home and biting my nails, which I don't do, but biting my nails, and wondering if I was good enough. You know what? I am, and you are. And
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
need the messaging. We need the content.
We
So
need
please
people to
don't be
pitch us.
please don't be afraid. We want to befriend you. We want you to not only come in once, but keep coming in. I love to have people that have their own columns in the magazine, Pam.
Yeah.
That way I know I can count on that every 3 months. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. That's what.
Right?
That's
Right.
exactly it.
So if
So if
your
if
work
I
is yet
did if I had this magazine, I had to do it all myself. I couldn't do it. So I do need
no,
content.
right.
And one of the main things is that I remember the first time I pitched, I wanted to do a pivot, and I was always writing because I was a paid journalist, but then I wanted to be a freelance writer. And I remember the first time I made a call to someone, and it was just really small. It was like to
Mm,
do book reviews. I was
yeah.
so scared. I was like, oh my God, what if they say no, whatever, whatever. It was to do book reviews for the Christian Retailing magazine. Magazine had like over 30,000 circulation, whatever. So I told them that I wanted to do book reviews for the African American books, Christian books, and they said, send me some copies of things that you've written. I sent it. And about a day later, they said, okay. And they sent me like a truckload full of books. It's like, here you go. And it was like they were waiting. They were waiting for someone to raise their hand and say, hey, I review your books. And it
Yeah.
was something like nominal that they paid. I think it was like $100 a review or something like that.
Hmm.
But the point of it is that now I was like had a byline in an industry publication. And that was like really, really important to me. So then I got enough nerve and I said, okay, let me do something. I want to do more feature stories. So I pitched Gospel Today magazine. And I remember getting the person on the phone, finally, making that contact. And they said the same thing, send me what you've written. So I sent her this article that I've written, and I think in the article was a typo, and it was like something. It had to do with the church. Like they went to the altar, right? And the altar was Alter instead of the altar Altar.
LTAR.
Now she's a publisher, Gospel Today. She said this is really good, but let me just tell you, altar, when someone goes to the altar, is T-A. I felt so embarrassed. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. She was like, but you know what? I will proof your stuff, but yes, you can write a story. And I did all her cover stories. I did that for years, but it took a little bit of like, should I call? Should I not call? It's like, oh my God. And the
Yeah.
fear. And I realized once I got the yes, it was like the only thing that was stopping me was me, and
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
had to get out there and just do it. And so your book has 12 chapters
Yeah.
and goes over some of the points of that. And I want you to kind of walk us through that, because when I find that people are afraid to pitch, and I say, oh, pitch yourself to the Afro, pitch yourself to this, pitch yourself to Success Magazine, pitch yourself, they look at me like, now? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like today, like
Yeah. Yeah.
you're ready. How much more ready are you going to get? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. Here's the thing, Pam, and I've heard it said over and over again, and it took a while for it to sink in for me because I like to think I'm a perfectionist. But you know what? Sometimes good is good enough,
there you go.
right?
Yes,
Am I
yes,
right? So
yes.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And not only, if even if Success in Magazine were to say no, you've started to create a relationship. You've got your foot in the door. And sometimes that's a big deal. If you can send out an email to them and get something back, yeah, that's right. So don't forget that getting a no is not a bad thing, because again, now they know you, they know who you are, and they know what you've got, and you'll just keep going back at them. My first chapter is it's release. And yeah. And you know, that's a huge one. You know how big that is, because what are we holding on to, and what do we got to let go of? You know, all the whole paradigm and the shit, all the old beliefs, the thoughts that we have that, we're holding on to. You know, our tribes are really big too, whether they be family or friends, sometimes foe, the people that we decide, know better about what we do, who we are than we do. We are not always who they tell us we are. We are not always, the corner they want to back us into and kind of leave there, because we might be bigger, better, and bolder, and that scares a lot of people. So that's on them.
I think at the beginning of the new year, people need to release anything that didn't go well or like planned in 2021. So in 2022, release it, let it go, start over, new chapter, let's go, release it. And I just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving.
Second chapter is rebuild, Pam. So now you release and let it all go. What do we have to rebuild? Where is it that you take a look at your life and just figure out, okay, my finances could use a little help, my relationship, my whatever, let me do some rebuilding around my business. Where do I need to be? Where are my goals? Start setting some of them. And a goal could be by the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month, or, a 3-month, time span. Give yourself those goals and do everything you possibly do to hit those goals. This, for me, is already it's an esteem builder. When you're making the goals and hitting them, you're starting to feel pretty darn good about yourself, because you've had a productive day and you're doing the work, and it feels darn good. The next chapter is responsibility. Now, I love this one, because it's, where are you taking responsibility?
That is a big one for me.
And where are you not taking responsibility?
Accountability and responsibility are two big things. I always said, grown folks got to act like grown folks now. Like, really, I'm not babysitting.
That's
I'm not
right.
holding hands.
Woo, I've got, I know. And I want to help everyone. I really do. But, you listen to this. You got to help yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. Remember that line from Jerry Maguire? He said, "Help me, help you." That's like my favorite line. Help me, help you.
Exactly. And then we go into replace. What are we're replacing that thought with it. We might be replacing relationships and people, which is hard to do.
Emotional
and people
ties.
But that's a very emotional time. But are you willing to do the work that it takes to be the best you? And this is what it is. It means sometimes you got to get rid of the ball and chain. You've got to get rid of the heavy weight. You've got to get rid of the naysayers. You've got to get rid of people. I say rid of. Distance them. I say replace. You can
don't put them in your Fab Five.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. How are we moving these people out of our lives? We need to have people that are supportive in our lives. Support groups. They're all over the place. You can find them. Whether they be in church or they be at meetup.com
or mastermind.
Or the mastermind. Yep. I love my mastermind. We are so tight, the women in my mastermind. It's a lovely, beautiful thing to see. And then I could go down the next 12 chapters, but it's just, this is a rah-rah session. This book is meant to, we talk about the daily demons in here. We have affirmations. We have case studies. I have what's called the clarion call. So there are lots of different, pop outs and pull outs.
Your name being Clarissa, the clarion
call. That's why I did it. Yeah. That's why I did it. Good on you, Pam. You picked that up. So,
oh my God, that's branding. I mean, that's like you get the branding.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
It's so cool.
Exactly.
It's so cool. The Limelight. I love the name of your show, podcast, and all of that. The Limelight, because most people want to be in the limelight. What your book does is really like give them the confidence to do it. But once they're in it, give them some tips, because we did this at the National Publicity Summit. What is the main thing? If the holy grail right now for media used to be like Oprah. Oh, let me get on Oprah's show. But now it's just kind of like, let me get on, let me do a TED Talk, let me get on the TED stage or CNN, or, I want to get in the Washington Post or the New York Times or whatever. So whatever is the main thing, what is the or Good Morning America? I mean, that's like a holy grail.
Yeah, of course. That's where we all want to be.
Yeah,
That's
that's
where we
so
all want
it's
to be.
like, okay, if you do it, like what's going to happen? How
Yeah,
do you leverage it? But give people some tips on how they actually, well, first, like, why do they want it? Because
right.
if your audience isn't on today's show, Good Morning America, or they miss it, but you can really create as much buzz. Really, that's the whole point. Create as much buzz about you using other different
Sure.
mediums. I mean,
Absolutely.
you could do your own TV show, you do your podcast, you can do a digital magazine. It's just so many different things.
There are.
So give people some tips on, like, if they were starting out today, what should they do first, or
Well,
what
first
should
of all,
they
you want to make
stop
sure
doing?
you want to make sure that you have your press kit, your one page and your press kit all pulled together and
Hmm.
snatched, really looking good with your picture on it, with a great bio about you. What do you do? Your 5 bullet points, 6 bullet, whatever you talk about, whatever your strengths are, wherever you are an
Yes.
expert. That's what the producers want to know. If you have a book, better I feel, because this is a great time to get out there and promote your book. Start local. Start local.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is the way to
Don't
go.
start with CNN.
No, no, no. Also, because Pam, we need, some people don't have the experience that you and I do in front of a camera and a microphone, and that's great. That's okay. But you can, you start to acquire your confidence, just getting started, foot in the door, and then the snowball will
Yes.
roll, right?
Yes.
So you want to start local, and boy, that could be just standing up at a BNI meeting. It could be standing up in front of your church. It could be standing up at any of these, smaller local, I don't know, the Elks Club. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Chamber of Commerce.
Start
Yeah.
local. Yes,
Hmm.
start local. Start creating those relationships and put it out there when you go. And does anybody here also know, by the way, any other places I might be able to speak? If you'd let me know, that would be great. And start the snowball that way.
Oh my
Also,
God.
there are
Clarissa, what you just said, do you know of any other place that I might be able to speak? Do you
Mhm.
know that is like stuck in people's throat? They
Yeah.
don't want to say that. And
Ask for
when
the
I tell you, I said I
referral. Ask for the referral.
yes, yes. That is really key, because if you're good, people enjoy you. If
Yeah.
you don't give them a CTA, a call to action,
Mhm.
they're not going to refer
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, well actually, yeah, my sister is president of the sorority.
Yeah.
She would love to have your information. Give me your one sheet, give me your card. So you got to
Yeah.
be prepared when
Yeah.
you do ask, do you know of anyone? I love that.
Yeah.
That is so key. So I wish everyone, the first quarter of the year, make sure wherever you go that you say that. Say it with confidence, say it upright, say it
Yeah.
like are expecting someone to give you a referral, because
Yeah.
if not, it's not going to happen.
Have a speaker's page on your website. Make sure
Duh.
that that press kit is on the website. Make sure that your one page, all the stuff we're talking. So the one page is something then you send on to a producer, an Elks Club,
Mhm.
whatever we're talking. Your church organizer that's organizes. But you want to have something that says who you are, how to contact you, what you do, and what you're an expert in. That's and what you're going to talk about, so
Yes.
that
Your
you
talking
start to know
points.
the talking points. What are you going to stand and let their congregation, let their audience know? What are you going to teach them? What are they going to,
What's
what
the
are they going to
benefit?
walk away with? Are they going to walk
Mhm.
away with information? Are they going to walk away feeling really good about themselves in life? Is it inspirational? Is it motivational? Is it educational? What are you going to leave their audiences with? That's what they want to know.
Mhm.
I think that in the beginning, my suggestion is to speak for free, not for too long, but just enough to start getting the word out there and get your confidence too, to get your footing when you're standing
Yeah.
on the stage or behind the podium, or you've got that microphone in hand. That's definitely another key point that I would point out. Yeah, Pam, was there another question?
How do you feel, Clarissa, about people paying to speak? I think we talked about that earlier, where people pay to speak on stages, and it's been a thing.
Yeah.
Uh, Lately, I've seen it a lot in the African American community, where people are paying to speak on stages. I'm talking like paying like
Yeah.
between $500 to $2,000 to speak on a stage.
No.
Okay, you
No,
feeling the same
no,
way
I'm
I
not a
am.
big I'm not a big fan of that at all. And
I'm
here's
not
why.
either.
Speakers when they, when they are and they do reach a certain level, because there are different levels. Let's face it. I'm not going to be pulling in the same kind of money that Michelle Obama is going to pull in when she gets on stage. It's just the way it is, right? But what I will tell you is that you still have put in the work. You're an expert for a reason. You didn't buy that
Mhm,
title. You've worked darn hard for it. And that
mhm.
means you should be getting paid for it. With that having been said, you may not be getting paid a whole lot, or you may decide, because the audience is so big or it's so great, or you might be getting some video of yourself on stage in return that now you can use on your show reel. You
Yeah.
might say, hey, listen, I love your event. I would love to speak there. Can I do it for free?
And do the
I
speaker.
normally get 2 grand to speak. You're asking me to spend 2 grand to come and speak. Can we meet at the middle at nothing, but let me rock your audience's socks off?
I love it. That is it. That
Am I
is it
wrong?
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
because that way you have a great speaker reel, you have the audience
Yep.
reaction, you can
Yep.
get testimonials,
Yep.
you're leveraging it.
Mhm.
And so that is a great tactic. It's a marketing move rather
Sure.
than like I'm getting paid to speak the
Mhm.
25
Yeah.
$5,000 or something like that. So
Yeah.
you do want to do that. That is so important because if you're that wonderful, that speaker clip
Yeah.
will serve you well and
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
make you thousands and thousands of dollars
Sure.
throughout your speaking career. So
And
that
make
is so good.
sure that's another thing, Pam. Make sure you ask wherever you speak, will there be video? Will I be getting any video? And
Oh yeah.
if not, you may want to hire because look, the holy grail is getting video of yourself on stage in order for you to
Yes.
create the reel, right? Pam, you
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
So
And
in
show the audience as well, not just you, but
that's right.
show the audience
That is right.
reaction. And
Mhm.
hopefully the audience is
You
not
want to know
going to
why?
sleep.
And Pam knows this too, because the better your show reel is, the more video proof you have of how confident you are in front of a microphone and on stage. The video that you will put together is what you then can send on to CNN, Success Magazine, and all the big guys that want to know how you handle yourself on stage, because that's important to them. When
Mhm.
you're starting to go toward, even the local TV people, come on, let's be honest. Local TV, national TV, they want to know who you are, how you handle yourself, and what you're talking about. So
Yes.
that video now, if you're going to speak and they don't have video there, no, sorry, yeah, we don't pay. You can come to speak for free if you don't mind doing that. Great. Do you have video? Gee, no, we don't have that either. Great. Can I bring my video guy? He'll only do my segment, and you pop the guy $100. You're on stage 15, 20 minutes, and now you've got it.
Yes. You
Do you know
do
what I
need to
mean?
you need to catch it. It doesn't have to be
Right.
perfect, but it's something you can edit down to a 2-minute
That's
speaker
right.
reel.
That's
That's
right.
that is so key. So one of the main things I want people to know how to find out more about Clarissa and what kind of things that you mentioned that you have a mastermind, but you have other things too.
Yeah.
How could they get into your magazine? You said if they
Yeah.
wanted to pitch you, you could.
You can get me at Clarissa at clarissaburt.com. Say, hey, I saw you at Dr. Pam's event or her live on
Podcast.
Facebook. Yeah, her live. And, I'd love to be able to submit. We take pretty much everything in the way of submissions that is lifestyle. And then, of course, I have different people that, that we're creating their shows for them that go onto the In the Limelight TV. And if it's not good for me, it might be good for one of their shows. Yeah, there's a gal that's doing children's book. There's another gal that's doing business marketing. There's another gal coming up that's medical, doctor. So there's all kinds of different places and niches that I can plug and place people.
I love that. You have such a what I call it a diverse background, but TV has been like your main thing.
Yeah, it's
Written
my
by that
baby.
buds. That's like the main thing.
Yeah,
And
the
then are
lives.
you in the OTT space as well, where it's the Roku, Amazon
Yes.
Fire, Apple
Yes.
TV,
Yes.
all of that? That
Yep.
is like
Yeah.
the whole game changer for so many people.
Yeah. So all the people that come in, they have their shows on under the In the Limelight TV channel, which is on Binge Networks. We then create shows for them for such a nominal fee, Pam. It's unbelievable. It's really crazy what I charge to have people have their own show. But let's not
Oh
even.
my
I
God.
really want to help entrepreneurs and social, because now what happens with that, Pam, is if you come on my show, right now you have all of a sudden over 100 media icons that you can use for
Wow.
one 20-minute interview that I do with you. I now put you out live. I put you onto Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, 100 other,
I love it.
you're going to go on a 10 podcast platform. You can use all of this on your collateral material right across your website. Boom.
It's the
As
credibility.
seen on. Yes.
That's the
It's
credibility.
the
I
greatest.
love it.
I love it too.
This is such a great time to be a speaker because there's so
Mhm.
many opportunities. There's also the social audio apps. We got the Clubhouse, and now
Yep.
there's Twitter Spaces,
Yep.
and Facebook is doing that, where Meta's doing their
LinkedIn
thing.
events,
Yes. Oh my
Mhm.
God. It's
Yeah,
like you have to know how to use all the tools, but put them in together strategically. So one of the main things, if you feel overwhelmed as a speaker, as an author, and it's like, I don't know how to market myself, having a mentor, someone who's been doing it. Clarissa's been doing it for 30 years. I've been doing it for 30 years. I think we know a little something at this point, right? Between the both of us, it's like 60 years worth of experience.
hey
I,
now.
I know we could talk for about 60 more minutes. I mean, this is like fun stuff to us, but it is one of the things where you do need a mentor, and you need to find someone that you connect with, so that can help guide you through it. I will say though that I do recommend that people not have too many different coaches at the same time, because
Right.
if you're overwhelmed because you don't know what to do, and then you get too many coaches,
Yeah.
you get more confused.
Yeah.
So just kind of like, in 2022, pick your person that you want to work with for the period of time that you do, and then go through that thoroughly, and go through it and actually do the work that the coach or the mentor says.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We don't have a magic wand and just say, like, if you just join our program, it's going to happen. No, you have to actually do the work. Because it just doesn't happen. You were doing it over in Italy decades ago.
Yeah.
Before the
And I had to learn
internet.
the language, Pam. Before I could even get on TV, I had to know the language, and well. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I am fluent in Italian, and that was, another can of worms that had to be opened. But it's like anything else. If you really want it, you're going to get it. You're going to do it. You're going to do the work. And remember the word work, because it is work. Nothing's given you on a silver platter. It's work, but you got to do what you're passionate about. And I am passionate about, I love media. I love helping people get the word out. It's what I do.
And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So you do. That's the thing. There is no magic wand, even though I do have one. This one was actually
I know I want one. I'm jealous.
It's so cute. It's like Sierra gave me this. I was like, oh, I love it. And it sparkles. So I love all things sparkly.
I want a magic wand. Darn it. Well,
that's because you were always in theater, so I know you got a lot of props, right?
Oh,
so
I do.
I'm into props. I love props. Props are my thing. If I go anywhere, even if it's like a regular photo shoot, I'm pulling up a prop, and it's like, okay, enough of the props. I was like, it's just my thing. Clarissa Burt, thank you so much for joining. Get out there, get known today. I want people to really go to your website and check out the stuff that you do. And thank you so much for all that you do.
And thanks for coming. You're going to be coming on my mastermind. I'm so excited. Thanks for that too.
Yes, I love that. You point me to where I'm going to talk about branding, and I'm there. All right. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast, brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch, in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like a superstar.